Hello, everyone. If you're just joining us, welcome to our open house. I'm Sarimo. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for Infinited Fiber Company. And I'm really pleased today to be joined by research professor, technology mastermind, musician, and co-founder of Infinited Fiber Company, Harlin. Welcome, Ali.
Thank you. So, just shortly loose gear so that.
So Ali, I was reading an article recently where you made the statement, you said, nothing has been developed in thin air. And you went on to say that cellulose has been studied in research universities and at VTT, and this research tradition with cellulose has spanned generations. Can you share with our viewers a bit about the innovation, and can you talk about that moment with Infinited Fiber when you really realized you had landed on something amazing?
So the core stone is very, very far away, so in 30s in Alabama.
Alabama, wow.
So
okay.
that they were concerned about the safety of the viscose production. And they look at the alternatives, but it never broke up, and there were many, many occasions in between. But like the last stages where the infinited fiber came up was that we have tried this cellulose carbamate technology in old satellite factories, which has changed its owner several times, and it went finally bankrupt. And the whole invention come back to us. And we had a little bit of money left, and like just for fun, I made a experiment with local newspapers, and surprising, it managed to produce a quite nice fiber. And then we discussed with the guys who are, say, recycling the paper, and they said that no way, we have something to do with the old newspapers, and then the final case was that I took some of my old jeans, and they worked as well. And then we thought that, okay, fine, nice, and this project seems to be quite in the end, so that let's go to Milano for exhibition. And okay, the idea was that there is just a good food, and we can kind of give a, say, celebration for the long development and forget it. And then what happened is that in the first morning we had more than 40 companies were interested on the idea, and then it was a little bit, oh, this might be a thing you have to take a little bit more seriously. So it was like as typical, the last chance to run.
So from newspaper to denim, and then you had the magic moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we get asked quite often is about the type of textiles that can be used in the process. So you talked about denim was when you had made the discovery that you really were onto something big. And there's been the question about sort of pre-consumer textiles versus post-consumer textiles. Can you open up on that topic a little bit?
So, as a chemist, I'm mostly interested on the cellulose as such, and cellulose is the most abundant polymer on a planet, so it's nearly everywhere, so in very surprising places. And for me, cellulose is all good, independent where it really is. And like then, the problem is that how easy it's to be recovered from different sources and extracted out from there, because typically recycled textile is quite a cocktail.
We also get a lot of questions about the different types of textile recycling. So one of the things that comes up when they hear about our process that is chemical recycling, and then they're asking also, okay, we've heard about this thing called mechanical recycling. And it would be really great to share with our viewers to talk a little about these types of recycling and the differences.
The difference is particularly, of course, the technology, but it's also how you utilize it and what is the product out of it. So mechanical just opens the structure of the cloth, but the fiber is never better than it was in the beginning. Actually, it gets worse because it's mechanically stressed. It's possible to produce a reasonable fiber out of the mechanical opening, and it's definitely a very environmentally friendly. But that's the balance there. Mm-hmm. What we have in chemical side, so we can produce a superior fiber quality, and then you have to know what you do with your chemicals. And actually, the good out of this is that we have really been able, when changing from the carbamate technology to react the very, say, harmful sulfur dioxide treatment for the cellulose. So we have taken the real poisonous chemical out of the chemical chain, and in that way it's under control.
So when you talk about this taking the harmful chemical out of the chain, is this something that's the harmful chemical typically used in viscose production?
Viscose production is just based on the formation of xanthate. So you cannot make the viscose without, say, improving the solubility of cellulose with that chemical.
Okay. So we get questions quite frequently about the different fiber technologies, in particular the man-made cellulosic fibers. And it would be great if you could share with our viewers a bit about what that is.
They are semi-synthetic, or should we say person-made fibers. And like in the ancient times, over 100 years ago, there was several technologies, and like a nitrocellulose has been gone to the history because it's gunpowder, and like Capro is still one factory left. So and that's very, very soft and nice fiber, but the problem is that it's copper which is used in dissolving, so very environmentally unfriendly process. But what we have left is basically a alkaline dissolving process, is Ryan's. Yes, as the American term is for that. And then we have the lyocells. Ryans, they are the dominant ones. There is the sodium hydroxide, what is the solvent. And then the viscose is under that group. And then there is many other developments which are avoiding the use of sulfur dioxide in the poisonous chemical. And typically they are easy to use, and they are very, say, all around fibers. And then you have lyocells, which are made with new dissolving technologies. They are somewhat stronger in tensile strength, but at the same time they are a little bit more brittle, so that they typically lint easier than the sodium hydroxide or the alkaline Ryans. But there is a space for all these fibers, and they have a different, say, features, so that, for example, if you did not know that in Formula 1 car tires there is used Ryan belts, because otherwise if you don't have it, the tires are melting under the car. Okay. and coming down to the, say, baby suits for the reborn, so that everything in between, and so a huge variety.
And where would you say infinited fiber sits in this? I guess something quite unique.
Carbamate fiber is unique because it's quite performant Ryan fiber family member, and its benefits are like it takes up the color very easily, which means that its footprint there is very low. The other thing is that it's also user-friendly, which is another surplus. And of course, it's a vital part of the future of textile industry, because we have to go for recycling. So as we know, textile industry as such is the second biggest industry on the world, and one of the most polluting ones. And this one way product concepts are not really for the future. We have to have the recycling.
There's a lot of innovation happening in the Nordic region in this territory, and why do you think that is?
One reason why is that we are living in forest and from forest and for forest and everything, so that in a way we are foresters and we are a little bit toxicated on the cellulose, but like it's really the cell research heritage, so that we have been studying cellulose over 100 years because of one of our biggest natural industries, and that's the know-how base where the things are like rising up, and it's also very motivating and fun that there are several groups we are studying the same kind of a thing. So small competition is always good.
And so now we have time, I think, for one more question. And that question for you today is what do you think that really can be achieved in the world with infinited fiber technology? What kind of impact can we really have?
We cannot continue the textile industry. It's the second biggest industry. It's considered one of the most polluting industries, and at the same time, it's still the one-way ticket, so that there is not the recycling, and the recycling is a must for that industry to continue. And the infinited fiber technology has a vital position. And on the top is that what I believe that we have several properties of the fiber. We have not discussed too much yet, but like it's like how it fixed the colors, for example. So it's not only the making the fiber what is the burden, but it's also how to make the cloth. And in the end of the day, it's even also the how easy it's to maintain or make your laundry at home, and all those things. There is also a benefit to have a carbamized cellulose fibers.
And I'm quite pleased to be wearing 100% infinited fiber today. It's
yeah,
lovely.
so if you feel comfortable, I think we have received some.
Yes, I think so. Thank you so much, Olli. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure.